Okay, I'm going to post on a different forum today. Um, I'm kind of in a mess. I got Shoebinder's book, and I really like it. I really like the workbook. I really like the wording that he chooses, mind-body syndrome. Um, and he seems to talk about issues that are more related to my problem, like the fibromyalgia, the insomnia, the anxiety, the pain. My pain is more nerve pain in most places, and it'll kind of go all over my body. Sometimes it'll go to different places. Sometimes it'll go to every place at once. Sometimes it'll go up to the trigeminal nerve where I've lost all these teeth because nobody knew what was wrong with me. Um, this has been going on since 1990 when it started, and I realized how poorly I dealt with stress back then and how much stress was in my life when these symptoms started. I get that. But I've just started to lose my potential belief that this is really TMS or MBS, and I haven't had a diagnosis yet with Dr. Schechter, and I think I really want to go and talk to him. And Alan Gordon referred me to a therapist, but I'm really not ready for therapy. I do have enough belief in myself, and I think that I want to work on this myself, and with the help of the people on the forum and on the chat. It seems like there's a lot of support. I'm not against it, I just am not sure about it. And one of the other things about all of this is I'm a mindfulness practitioner, and I practice Buddhism, and a lot of what we believe in Buddhism is, everything is all right as it is in the moment, and not to get caught up and get attached to future events or certain activities or certain outcomes. So the idea of saying I need to be committed and really make this diagnosis, um, really believe the diagnosis and live the diagnosis, it sort of conflicts with my Buddhist feelings. And so that's part of the problem as well. I'm not sure how the two can meld together. Um, I do have a therapist that I see from time to time that I can talk to about this. But it seems like everybody says you've got to accept the diagnosis. And maybe I'm taking it too far. Maybe I'm taking accept versus being too attached. I can accept the diagnosis. I mean, I can accept the fact that I've had so many tests and so many treatments and so many doctors that my symptoms are so weird that a lot of the diagnoses are just guesses. I mean, they're just guesses. Like with the trigeminal pain, it's not really trigeminal neuralgia, so they call it atypical facial pain. Well, atypical facial pain means they don't know what the heck it is. So, and it's just debilitating pain. Fortunately, Neurontin does help with some of it, but this other kind of pain that comes on, the only thing that seems to help it is Wellbutrin, and it does help it, but it has side effects, and then I get overstimulated, and then my sympathetic nervous system gets worse when I'm trying to sleep. So, it's not the be all and end all either. So I seem to do better by um, doing videos than writing. Um, I'm not the greatest typist on the computer, and I don't always get out what I read other people's writings, and they're so beautifully written, and they're so heartfelt, and that's just not my thing. I just seem to do a better job if I um, do the video journaling. So anyway, I did start to do some of the things in Shoebinder's book, like identifying the issues. And even though I think the SEP program is really good, I just kind of like the Shoebinder approach to it. And so I'm identifying issues that he said just write down anything, even if it doesn't seem to be related to MBS or TMS, and I'm doing that, and I'm kind of going, wow, I hardly even remembered that, but now that I remember it, I remember being very angry or very upset or very ashamed. Like I remember with my mother, and this is so, I've known this for a long time, and it's bothered me for a long time. The only time I got unconditional love was when I was sick. And so I got sick a lot as a child, and I got sick a lot as an adult. I'd go through a stressful period, and I'd make it through the stressful period, and after the stressful period was over, I would get sick. And then I would get upset with myself, thinking, this is just has to do with your mother, and that your mother was kind to you and loving to you when you were sick, and when you weren't sick, she was at the country club. And she was not abusive. Well, yeah, she was kind of verbally abusive, and judgmental, and but she certainly was neglectful. Um, my life, and anytime I would achieve something, there was always some caveat. And she used to say to me, you're so high strung, just like your father. Well, how can that be? There's nothing there except a lose lose situation. And yet my father was the one that, as much as I can remember, and I can't remember it all, molested me. But I'm not 100% sure, which drives me crazy. I'd almost rather remember it than only remember shadows. My mother told me it was someone else, a babysitter, that did something to me, but I finally went under hypnosis with someone who was very ethical and trained well, and boom, it came out right away that it was my father. In fact, we had to stop the hypnosis session because I was just went back so fast and too intensely. Um, so I guess it was my father, and yet my anger is all at my mother. Um, okay, so I want to talk about the idea of a therapist. Um, I'm just not ready. I mean, Alan Gordon, when I talked to him, said, "You need to talk to a therapist. I'm sending you to someone right now," and I'm calling Schechter and telling him he needs to spend more time with you, which scared me to death. And I realized that he did that out of concern, which was very, very kind of him. And but it scared me. It was like, holy mackerel, am I that bad? But I realized that when I talked to the therapist that I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to go there. I want to do some exploring on my own first, and get the support from the forum. And I really like the chat. I think that whoever's listening to this, if anyone is, then they're new. I find the chat really helpful, with people that are experienced and are able to give me really good feedback, and just to be around other people that are in the same situation or have been where I've been. So, oh, Forrest, if you happen to see this, the name of my YouTube channel is Journey to Health from Fibromyalgia slash Lyme. But I'm posting almost all of my recordings. I was posting them on the SEP board. Now I'm going to be posting them on the support board. And I'm seeing a lot more people, with different issues on the support board, and that's helpful to me too. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who has made this site what it is, and who stay and help those of us that are new and struggling. And I'm sure things will get better as the day goes on, and I'm sure things will get better by tomorrow. It's just was a hard night. I didn't sleep well. I woke up in pain, and that was disappointing. So, oh my goodness, I've gone over 8 minutes. I'm sure you're sick of listening to me because I'm tired of talking. So, that's my day. That's a little bit about my story. And again, I appreciate everybody on this site, and I send love and kindness to all of you. Thank you.